So today we want to look at the electrical power system with a view to understanding all the components of the power systems and also how the components in the power systems they interact with one another. We are also going to see in details, brief details, each section of the power system, and we are going to see what a power system really is. So when we say power system, we know you already have an idea of what a power system is at the back of your mind. But let us look at the objectives of this particular program, because your appreciation of the power system will enhance your knowing what to do as a maintenance technician, as an electrical maintenance technician, because you will come to appreciate the various levels of voltages and the various equipment that will operate or work in these various levels of voltage. So what are the training objectives, the objectives of this very program? First, at the end of this program, you should be able to appreciate all the components of the power system, all that is contained in the power system. And then you will also understand what electrical power system really is. Then secondly, you will appreciate, like we said earlier, the various voltage levels, okay, that you will come across in the various sections of your power system. And finally, we will see how the components of the power systems, as we said before, how they interact to ensure that you get what you actually want from your power system. And your understanding of the electrical power system and the various levels of voltages that are in the power system, and also the various power system components, will improve your understanding and ability to carry out your job or your job role as an electrical maintenance technician, as we said earlier. So to help us to achieve all of these objectives, we have broken down this program into a series of topics or modules. So first in the topics is that we are going to introduce ourselves into what the power system is and the various power system components, the electrical components that we will find in the power systems, and what they do in the power system. That is the first part of the agenda that we are going to handle. Then secondly, in the power system, we'll come to see that one section of the power system is the generation system. So these generation systems, what are the equipment that we can find in the generation system and how they work? We are also going to see all of this so that our appreciation of it will help us to carry out maintenance and operations in our power system. Then we will also see the second section of the power system, which is the transmission section, because we know that whatever that is produced or generated at the generation station must be evacuated to your point of utilization. So we are going to see the transmission system components, as in the equipment that you. Then of course, we are going to see lastly the distribution system. We'll look at the components of the distribution systems the various equipment we will find in distribution systems, and how we can better operate and maintain the distribution system. We are also going to consider all of this. Okay, so most of the components and equipment that we are going to discuss, though we are going to briefly tell us, okay, in this particular program. We have other training on electrical machines, though that particular training explains in details these various components, how their principles of operations, their physics of operations, how the various components found in them interact to actually give us what we actually need from these equipment. So in this particular training, we are going to see the power system generally and the various sections of the power system, and also the equipment that we'll find in these various sections of the power system. Okay, so we are going to start with the first part of the power system, which is the generation station. So the power system generally, let us just briefly define the power system before we go into these various sections and components. So the electrical power system is a network of components and equipment that is meant for the production, the transfer, that is the supply, and the utilization of electricity. So when we mention the power system, we are talking of everything from generation to the point of utilization. So the power system comprises of the generation system, the transmission system, the distribution system, and the consumer system. So the first part of it is the generation station. So as the name indicates, that is where the electrical energy or the power that we need in our system is produced. So that is where it is produced. So in our environment here, most of the power stations that we have, they generate electricity at 11 kV, as you can see on your screen, okay? That is 11,000 volts or 11 kilovolts. So that is the function of the generation station. Later in the course of this program, we will see the components, okay, the equipment that we can find in the power generation stations or plants, okay? So immediately following the generation station, remember, all we have to do at the generation station is to generate the electricity that we need. That electricity will not be used at the generation station. So we need to move that electricity from where it is generated to where it will be used, which may be several hundreds of kilometers away. Okay, so with the whatever that is generated will now be sent, as you can see also, to your transmission system. And the first part of your transmission system is the switchyard. And the first component in your transmission system is the step-up transformer, okay? Or the transmission transformer, as you can see on the screen. So the function of that transformer is to step up the input voltage from 11 kilovolts to about 330 kilovolts, okay? Because here in this particular country, 330 kilovolts is the highest transmission voltage that we have. So that 330 kilovolts will now be sent from your switchyard into your transmission system. So the transmission line, as you can see, it is actually transmitting at 330 kilovolts. So that 330 kilovolts is now sent to a sub-transmission station, okay, as it is getting closer to where it will be used. So that sub-transmission station takes it down from 330 kilovolts to 132 kilovolts. So that 132 will now also be sent along the transmission line, which is the sub-transmission line, okay, to your another substation. It is actually a transmission substation because that is where the transmission line ends, okay, or the transmission section of the power system, that is where it ends. So there we also have a step-down transformer that will take the voltage from 132 kilovolts to 33 kilovolts. So from here, what we have, which is the 33 kV, will now be sent to your injection substations. Okay, so at the injection substation, we also have a step-down transformer, as you can see on your screen. That step-down transformer, what it does is that it will now take the 33 kV that is sent into it to 11 kilovolts, okay? So that is the injection substation. So that 11 kilovolts is what will now be distributed into the various streets and where your load, okay, your consumers are. So that is what you can see. From that 11, it goes to the distribution pool of facilities, and then to your lower distribution transformer, okay? So we have from the 11 kV, okay, this is the first distribution level. Then here, this transformer will take it from that 11 kV to about 415 volts. It is that 415 volts that will be used, okay, by your consumers in their various facilities. So if we have other consumers too, okay, that also needs that 415, both commercial and residential consumers, they will be tied to that injection stations, as you can see. So at the consumer level, okay, or close to the consumer or where it will be used, a step-down transformer is always there to take it from 11 kV to about 415 volts. These are mostly the transformers you find at your street junctions, okay, or closest to your load. So there are some consumers that will need higher voltage also, okay. So those consumers, like the industrial consumers, they take directly from the last point of your transmission, station, which is at the 33 kV point, okay? They take it straight to your industrial users. So in that, as you can see on the screen also, so in that environment, they may have equipment that uses 33 kV, or they will have their own separate step-down transformer that will take it from 33 to whatever voltage level that they may be needing, maybe 6.6 kV, 11 kV, 3 kV, 2 kV, and of course, lower voltage 415 for their offices and what have you. So now, the purpose of us highlighting this to you is for you to appreciate the power systems components, okay? That is the various sections of the power systems and the voltage levels of each of these sections of the power system, okay? So now let us have a brief review of what we have on the screen. So now the power system starts with the generation station, and the generation station generates at 11 kV. That 11 kV is sent to your switchyard. At your switchyard, it is that's the transmission transformer closest to your switchyard. It is transformed or stepped up from 11 kV to about 330 kV. That is sent to the highest transmission section of your power system. Then from there, it is sent to the second transmission level, which is from 330, the first to the transformer that will step it down from 330 kV to 132 kV. Then from there, it goes to your 132 to 33 kV transformer, okay? Still in the second, still in the transmission section of your power system, okay? Now, as it goes to the 33 to 11 or the injection substation, so as it goes to the injection substation, it is further stepped down from 33 kV to 11 kV. So it is that 11 kV that is distributed, okay, where it is further stepped down to 415 volts face to face and 220 volts phase and neutral that will be used by various loads. So when you look at it, you'll see that in the generation station, the voltage level there is 11 kV, okay? Then the first transmission station section, we have 330 kV. We have 330 kV. Then the second transmission section, we have 132. So at the injection substation, we have the transformer that will take it to 11 kV from 33 kV. So we have 11 kV on our distribution lines, as you can see, okay? Then as it is going to your load, it is further stepped down to 415 volts, 415 volts, apart from your industrial users, okay? So these your industrial users, they will definitely have a step down transformer that will take this from 33 to 11 to 415 to 6.6 to whatever voltage level that they are using. So now you are familiar with the voltage levels, okay, at the different sections of the power system.